Hello everyone! Most of you are probably familiar with the legendary questline that was given by Wrathion during Mist of Pandaria, but there was also one specifically for rogues given during the Cataclysm. I never bothered to finish up the questline when it was still current content, but we did manage to do so on stream, so today I can finally tell you the tale of how Wrathion went about recruiting rogues to murder his family. This tale all begins in the Badlands, where we help out Dolph Blestus with the local ogres, who then sends us over to Ria at the Fire Ravine. She came by their town not too long ago, looking for some parts for her studies, but the safety goggles, that took a little bit longer to collect. We get to deliver them to her, and while we're at it, we might as well help her out with what she's trying to do in the area. You see, Ria is actually Ria Straza, member of the Red Dragonflight, on a mission of bringing redemption to the Black Dragonflight. They have been corrupt by the old gods for a very, very long time, and she's trying to find some way of fixing that. To get that done, she has us collect a couple of wild black dragon eggs, the corpses of slain scalding whelps, and the stolen eggs from the black dragon Ixandra. They've been encouraging her to lay these eggs, and as you might imagine, she's not too happy about her children taken away, but a few punches weakens her enough to steal what we need. Cruel? Perhaps, but not nearly as cruel as the treatment the Dare Dragonflight showed Ria's mistress, as they have been responsible for many gruesome acts, amongst it the enslavement of the Red Dragonflights and forcing Alexstrasza to breed more children, which the orcs then could use for their war. All the same, our motives are a little bit better. The Red Dragonflight is trying to create an uncorrupted black dragon, one that will live beyond Deathwing's treachery and will soar as the noble Earth Warder once again. She's not alone in this mission either, as the gnome, Dr. Hyronius Blem, he analyzed the samples we bring him, while we hold off waves of trogs trying to overrun the area. Sad to say, all 3 samples that we bring to him, they all hold traces of corruption. It doesn't matter if the black dragon is still an egg, a grown whelpling, or taken away from its mother, all of them show the same corruption from the old gods. There might be something though, a very long shot that could help our mission out. Archaeologists in the area, they've uncovered a new set of Titan ruins beneath the sands. If there's anything older and wiser than dragons, then that would be the Titans. We go in to investigate the ruins, we solve some of the puzzles, we take out the Warden and the Sentinel, and we end up with our prize. A small circular device known as the Eye of the Watchers is found within the Titan's trove. Upon activating it, it goes around scanning our samples, it finds the corruption just as before, but this time it's actually able to remove the anomaly, to remove the corruption and combine all 3 into one purified black dragon egg. The future of the Black Dragonflight, it may lie within this shell, so it has to be kept safe, away from the other black dragons. Nixandra, the mother whose eggs we stole, she's actually been able to escape and she sounded the alarm amongst their flights. Almost half of them are searching the area looking for this egg, so while Ria takes care of hiding it away, we take care of some of the strongest black dragons and even Nixandra herself. With the major black dragons out of the Badlands, it should be safe to move the egg again, as Ria Straza invites us to meet her at the hidden clutch. But keeping things a secret from someone like Deathwing, that's no easy task. He knows exactly what we're trying to do, and he's not happy with our plans. No mercy is shown, as he burns everything inside the cave, Ria, the egg, and all hope for an uncorrupted future of the Black Dragons. Luckily, Ria already planned ahead for these events, and the egg she was holding, it was actually one of her own, while the good doctor, he already made sure to transport the uncorrupted Black Dragon egg, transport it somewhere safe. There, it will continue to grow out of Deathwing's sight, and for quite some time, we don't hear anything else about the egg. Not until near the end of our adventure within the Cataclysm, as the armies of the Horde in the Alliance, as well as the different Dragonflights and the Shaman Thrall, they team up to take on Deathwing and his forces at Wyrmrest Temple. It's at the Path of the Titans, where we run into Lord Afrasastras, the commander of the Wyrmrest Temple Defenders, and as a rogue, we've gained quite a reputation amongst the flight as having, shall we say, nimble fingers. They need someone with our skills, but before he reveals anything more, they need to know that we're the right person for the job. What better way to prove that than the pickpocket Hagare the Stormbinder, who carries on her a Cryptomancer's decoder ring. Rings like these, they're capable of decoding even the most complicated of ciphers. Unfortunately, the ring right now is useless until we get it charged. That's where the Ethereal Thaumaturge in our capital city comes in, who is willing to charge it up, but it does come with a price. 10,000 gold to be exact, and not even threatening to kill him in his sleep will change that, since the Ethereal has simply stopped sleeping. An empty purse and 12 hours later, and our ring is charged, ready to be put to work for Straza, who's in the Twilight Highlands. It was here, within the Vermilion Redoubt, where they decided to hide away the egg, but days ago it disappeared. Whoever did it was able to elude their sharpest guards. One of the thieves was killed during during the abduction, although now they believe that might just have been a diversion. However, they have found a note on his corpse, our only clue, and after deciphering the Sin cipher, we end up with this message. Much of the code's missive was destroyed by fire. What we can make out says, "His calling, the will of Grand Master Farad, that we act by dawn tomorrow. The one who calls is restless, renewed urgency, mustn't forgo the element of surprise. An eventuality, you must divert attention away from the objects, but with all luck attributed to the Twilight Hammer, after the operation is done, both groups will reconvene back at Ravenhold Manor. May you be fleet of foot and quiet of blade. P.S. Burn this." But they didn't, and our clues lead us to Ravenhold Manor, home to the Ravenhold Guild, who only accept the finest thieves and assassins in the world. The Red Dragon Mostras is kind enough to carry us on his back, and he gives us a ride to the manor.
Let's move out, friend. There's no time to lose. Cora Straza is understandably upset. Under her care was the one black dragon egg that we believe was free of the taint of Deathwing's corruption. And it was stolen away from us by thieves in the night. Ravenhold. It just doesn't make sense. A mongrel band of petty thieves? How did they even know about the egg? We'll get to the bottom of this. Someone with your skills is exactly what we need. What's the expression? To catch a thief, they say? Look at this devastation. These foothills have never recovered from the campaigns of the Second and Third Wars. Ruins and debris litter the landscape, and I consider the thieves and assassins of Ravenhold to be part of that debris. Without a state, without a cause, what drives them, do you wonder? And what possessed them to strike out against the Red Dragonflight? Madness. We must learn more. If they have the egg, it's too dangerous to risk an all-out assault. You'll need to sneak in there, find out what they're up to, and retrieve the egg at any cost. Quiet now. We'll form up a plan within this cave.
Just beyond this cave is our destination, which we need to reach unseen, so we stealth past the members of Ravenhold. We're very careful not to piss them off, and zapping any of them who might catch us sneaking around.
That's it. You've got this. Keep it up. Careful, the front door is too heavily guarded. Circle around the back of the manor, and maybe we can find another way in. Aha, there are no guards back here. Maybe you can find a way up onto the roof. Nice work. Is there a window up there? Look around. You did it, you're in. Now, where would they be keeping the egg? Someplace dark, I would imagine. Be careful.
In the back, we find a very convenient rope, which then gives us access to the roof and an unsecured vent. Easy access without being spotted as we make our way down. It's in the basement, where we find what we came for, our uncorrupted egg, now cracked open, and its contents are gone.
That's right, mortal. The prize you seek no longer sleeps within a shell. Here I am, in the flesh. I'm not some trophy for a red dragon's mantelpiece, and I'm never going back. Don't look so surprised. We dragons are conscious, even within our shells. As I grew, I could hear the plotting and scheming. I was to be born a prisoner. But I'm one of a kind. A black dragon raised free from the taint of my father's corruption. And that's how I intend to stay. Free. Somehow, you managed to elude all of my guards. You slipped in here like a ghost. That makes you valuable to me. Let's talk.
Your Highness, we caught this beast snooping around the caves just outside the compound.
I'm not afraid of you! Wait, who are you?
You don't recognize your former prisoner?
Shall we execute him, my prince?
No. I want him to deliver a message to the Red Dragonflight. Tell them that I am free of my father's madness, and I will be free of them as well. I am to be left alone. This will be my first and only warning.
But Deathwing's minions may have you killed.
Deathwing's minions should be afraid of me. Get him out of here! And Farad?
Yes, sir.
Break his legs. Now then, my new friend, we have much to talk about. As you know, black dragons frequently disguise themselves as humanoids in order to tamper with mortal affairs. While the house of my mad father collapses around him, the few remaining black dragons have gone into hiding. But I can still sense them. My cowardly brothers and sisters will cause untold suffering if we allow them to stay in the shadows. Moreover, they are a threat to me. That is where you come in. Help us to slay them all, and I will reward you handsomely.
Your first target is here, in the ruins of Gilneas. I've lost some of my best men already. Let's see if you can fare any better.
The dragon you're looking for goes by the name Creed. He's deluded a group of diseased humans into thinking they can take their land back. He's poisoned their blood with his own draconic essence.
If he succeeds in looting the whole of Gilneas, there is no telling where he'll hide next. Now is the time to strike.
If you live through this, I assure you, it will be worth it.
The Black Dragon Wrathion, self-proclaimed prince, has hatched from the egg. Uncorrupted, unique, just as the Red Dragons wanted, but with a free will and not too happy about being used for schemes and plots even before his birth. He claims that Deathwing is his father, but the only dragon that ever survived mating with the aspects that did not go without some permanent scars. And we know that his mother bore none of these, so Deathwing is not actually his father. What he might mean is that Deathwing is the father of all black dragons, but all the same, he has need of us. We can be useful, and in order to join his cause and slaughter all black dragons in hiding, we have to prove ourselves by taking down Hiram Creed. He's amassing an army in Gilneas, and Zazo Twinklefingers, a very crafty arcane mage, he's our contact just outside the ruins of the capital. He lets us know that the city has been in chaos for days now. Creed, disguised as a Gilnean, he's infected a Worgen with his own draconic blood. Even the Forsaken are having trouble dealing with them, so only a surgical assassination can clean up this mess. We sneak through the city, making sure to stay out of the air because they'd spot us immediately until we find our targets. Now, of course, this is a Cataclysm questline, so the targets are now a lot easier to take down than they used to be, but this one, even back then, was doable for pretty much anyone. He places a Void Zone on the floor, he has a Frontal Cone Shadow Breath attack, and does something called Black Howl's Will, which deals a whole bunch of damage and drains all of your energy. Going into stealth, that just pisses him off and increases his damage done, so rogues had to use all of their tricks of the trade to bring the Draconic down. With Creed finished, the Gilneans who followed his lead, they're now on their own, assuming that his corrupted Draconic blood, that it works its way out of their system without killing them, but that's no concern for us though. We just leave them behind to deal with their own mess, while we report back to Wrathion, letting him know of our success.
Excellent work, friend. You've proven that a single skilled assassin can strike a decisive blow where a whole army may fail.
A lucky blow against an unprepared opponent.
If you wish to continue our work, we will need some additional supplies.
Farad is not impressed, but the Black Prince grants us 2 shiny new blades called Fear and Vengeance that will surely come in handy for what he has planned. The blades may not look like much at the present, but in their right hands they may yet awaken. Perhaps those right hands are ours. They're lifeless shells and can do great things once they're given a means to contain the power that Wrathion has in mind. For this, he requires shadowy gems. The unusual stones are like windows into the infinite. The great battle around Wormrest Temple that has powerful minions fighting for Deathwing and the Twilight Hammer. They hold Elementium gem clusters that contain the gems that we need. Now it does take a while to do, but after collecting 333 of these gems, Wrathion has what he needs for the next step, and while he performs the enchantments, we get to go on a brand new mission.
The gems you collected will be able to augment the power of the weapons I gave you. But I require another ingredient. It will come from your next target.
We've just located her here, in the caverns beneath Karazhan. Fearful for her life, she is researching arcane secrets buried beneath the Foundation.
Her name is Nellis, and until recently she stood at Wormrest Temple as the representative of the Black Dragonflight. Now, she's on the run.
She surrounded herself with a small army of deranged dragon cultists. They may not be right in the head, but they're well armed and dangerous.
I hope to see you back from this mission alive. But if I do not, I want to say I've enjoyed seeing you work. You're a credit to your race. Good luck.
Nellis used to actually hand out quests to adventurers, send them to defend the Obsidian Dragon Shrine against the Scourge, but she, like all the other Black Dragons, is corrupted and has to be taken out. The town near Karazhan, it's already overrun with Blackworm bruisers and cultists who worship her as a goddess. We'll have to move carefully once again. The sky is still off limits, but there are arcane storage units which we can use to our advantage. From the shadows, we can blow them up, killing entire groups standing next to them as we sneak our way into the cellar and to our next targets. Again, this used to be a lot more difficult, and the fight actually comes in 3 phases. First, she uses her arcane abilities, like infusing her weapon with arcane and arcane missiles, while also gaining a small enrage, which you then had to remove, and when done properly, she would actually take more damage. The phase transitions, they happen at 66 and 33% health, where she casts arcane destruction, she gains a massive shield around herself, and to counter this, you have to sprint to the 2 pillars in the room and stop her ultimate spell. In phase 2, she actually gets a mini shield called Arcane Infused Armor, which reduces all damage taken by 99%, but again, you can remove this with exposed armor. At 33%, she tosses in a Blazing Shadows, which is a trail of fire that forms behind you, but when done right, all of her abilities are countered, and Nellis goes down. From her dead body, we take a vial of Black Dragon's blood. It rolls as though alive, and it's still warm to the touch. Zezo enchants the vial, then quickly hands it back as if it's toxic. We want to get this to Wrathion as soon as possible, so he can give us our rewards. He takes the vial, his face a mask of equal reverence and revulsion. He drops the gem we collected one by one into the blood, muttering an incantation. Without warning, he pours the blood over the blades of our daggers, and the steel seems to writhe and twist as though alive. When the smoke clears, the daggers have altered their shape and now go by the names the Sleeper and the Dreamer.
Incredible. Few assassins would be clever enough to infiltrate Nellis's wards and use her own magic against her.
She allowed herself to be defeated. The others will not be so weak.
Perhaps. For that reason, we will need to gather more supplies. Succeed here, and our work is nearly done. Good luck, hero.
We're nearing the end of our partnership with Wrathion, and there's only one more target to take care of, killing his father. We must destroy Deathwing. His madness has already corrupted all the others of his kind, and his darkness will consume the world if he's not stopped. We have to continue our battle at Wormrest Temple, assist Thrall and the other aspects with doing the near impossible. They have brought the Dragon Soul, a powerful artifact by Deathwing's own design. This has been taken from the past and brought to the present to be used against the Destroyer. We defend them while they give a portion of the power to the soul. We defend them as Deathwing's minions assault our vessel, and we rip open the very armor holding Deathwing together.
Don't underestimate my father. Even if you were to crush his body, The core of his madness and rage will still struggle to destroy you. He will not be defeated until he is utterly annihilated. I wish I could help, but my father is the one dragon I fear. Best of luck, Rogue. Whatever the outcome, you are truly a champion.
It is time. I will expend everything to bind every thread, here, now, around the Dragon Soul. What comes to pass will never be undone.
I can feel the elements awakening, rejoicing. The Cataclysm is over.
The champions who fought at our side assured the survival of our world. But now, we must see it with mortal eyes. We dragon aspects have fulfilled our great purpose, and our ancient power is expended. But though our day draws to an end, life endures, and new generations will be born. Today's victory belongs to all who stood against the shadow. You are Azeroth's true guardians, and the future of this world is in your hands. For the dawning of the Age of Mortals has begun.
We have done it. The Age of Mortals is upon us, and we make sure to retrieve a fragment of Deathwing's jaw, which we bring back to Wrathion, together with 60 Elementium gem clusters collected from Deathwing's minions. Yet, as we fly into Ravenhold, things don't seem to be going so well. Things are a little bit on fire, and Mostras, the red dragon that brought us here to begin with, he did not listen to Wrathion's warning.
Your eyes do not deceive you. The treacherous Red Dragonflight sought to kill me off. I hope now you see the truth about them.
He can feel it, like a dark shadow lifted from the land. His father is truly dead. His hands and face blur as he uses a jaw fragment in a dark enchantment. The gem clusters we collected earlier orbiting around his head. The jaw piece shatters, and with a terrible hissing sound, our twin daggers awaken.
Champion, you have your reward, but there is one final dragon we need to slay.
My prince, we should leave this place, in case they come back to finish the job.
Farad, I was just talking about you. The final Black Dragon. The one who's been more hidden than any of them.
Your Highness, I have never tried to conceal what I am from you.
Yes, you rescued me while I was still within my egg, and I owe you my life. But you are a black dragon, and you share the corruption of all my brothers and sisters.
That is not true.
Do you deny it? The dark visions? The voices in your head?
No, I am in control of the voices. They're here to help me.
And what are they telling you now, Farad? What do your dark masters whisper?
Kill. They want me to kill you now. Oh, why did you have to go and anger them? You have proven too difficult to control! Ah!
I will never be controlled! The Red Dragonflight has no idea what they unleashed when they experimented on my egg. Hero, strike now! Use your newfound power to finish him! It is done, friend. To my knowledge, I am the only black dragon who remains. A new age for mortals has dawned, and heroes like you are among the vanguard. I must go now. Disappear. Perhaps we will meet again. I hope we find ourselves on the same side. With the last of the Black Dragonflight destroyed, my destiny was in my own hands. I left the assassins of Ravenholt behind to seek my destiny elsewhere. There are rumors of a new land beyond the mists of the sea. Perhaps I will see you there.
And so ends the legendary questline with Wrathion during the Cataclysm. And those that played during Mr. Pandaria, you know that he got quite a taste of handing out legendaries and now offered his services to all classes of both the Alliance and the Hordes. That's a whole different tale altogether. For now, we got our hands on some shiny new daggers called Golad, Twilight of Aspects, and Tyriosh, Nightmare of Ages. These days, the weapons won't do much for you, but they do look pretty sweet, and they even have a special ability, which allows you to slow your falling speed for a bit and has some badass wings carry you softly to the ground. Now nobody tell him this, but Wrathion is wrong with his belief of being the last black dragon. There is Sibelian, still hanging out in Outlands, an actual son of Deathwing. And of course in Legion, we discovered Ebonhorn, also known as Abyssian, hanging out with the High Mountain Tauren in High Mountain. Those are some prime examples, so there might be some storytelling in the future with the remainder of his Black Dragonflight. But all the same, this brings us to the end of the video. So as always, thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!